Good day, grade 3 learners, and welcome to today's mathematics lesson. My name is Erica Gura. This lesson is brought to you by Gauteng Department of Education in collaboration with Sci-Bono Discovery Center and broadcast by Pakama Research and Development. So, mathematics, grade 3, knowledge area, numbers, topic, numbers, operations, relationships, and our subtopic is ordering numbers. And I'm the presenter, Erica Gura. Our lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to order numbers correctly, add by counting forwards, and subtract by counting backwards. Our pre-knowledge is grade 2. Understand the value of numbers, add numbers, and subtract numbers. Let us start with ordering numbers. Ordering means to put them in a certain queue or a line. We either do it from the smallest to the biggest or the biggest to the smallest. This one says, let's look at these 5 numbers. And can we put them in order from the smallest one to the biggest one? So if we look at these numbers, they are all double digits. So we have to look at what is the value of the number. If we look at 16, it's only got 1 10 and 6 ones. So that one is smaller than 24. So we know that we must start with 16, then 24, and we know that 80 is smaller than 90, so 88 would come in next, and then 94. Let's have a look and see if we got it right. So 16, then 24, then 88, then 94. 94 is the biggest. How many to 100? You would just have to add 6. So 94 is very big. Can we put these numbers in the correct order? Now we're going to go from the largest one to the smallest one. Let's look at our numbers carefully. We've got 100, we've got 2, we've got 34, 65, and 17. So by far the biggest one there is 100. Then we look at the other digits, and the next largest one is a 65, isn't it? Then it would be a 34. And then we've got 2 and 17 left, and we know 17 is next, and then 2 is last, because 2 is the smallest in that sequence. Let's have a look at our answers there. There we go. So we've got 100, that was the biggest. That was what we were asked to do, the biggest down to the smallest. Then 65, then 34, then 17, and then 2. Well done. Now we're going to go from the smallest to the biggest. And we have to look really carefully because those numbers have all got 6s in them. But we have to see what the number is. So let's read them together. The first one is 16, then 6, then 60, and then 66. So to go from the smallest one, we're going to start with 6. Then the next one is 16, that's 10 more. Now which one is bigger between 60 and 66? It is 66. It's 6 more than 60. There are our answers. So we started with 6, then 16, then 60, and then 66. We always have to be very careful that we pronounce those words very carefully so that there's no problems. 16 ends with an N and 60 ends with a Y. So let's always try and say them very carefully and slowly. Let's have a look at these numbers, and we are going to order them from the largest one down to the smallest one. And they are quite confusing because there's a couple of 1s and 2s, but we have to read them so that we know what the value of the number is. How much is that number? The first one says 12, then 2, then 21, 11, 121, so that's 100 more than 21, and then 212. So our instructions were to go from the largest one to the smallest one. So which one do you think is the largest? 212. Well done. And then the second largest one would be 121. Now we have to look at the next four. We've got 11, 21, 2, and 12. So the next one would be 21, then 12, then 11, all the way down to our baby 2, only 2. Let's say those numbers again together. 212, 121, 21, 12, 11, 2. Very good, well done. Now we're going to be adding some numbers. When we add numbers, we have to count on from the last number. You have tried that before. So if we look at a number like 8 plus 6, we must count on from 8. So we don't start at 1. We've already got 8. We've got 8 Smarties, and somebody gives us 6 more. So we are going to count on from 8. So we would say 8 plus 6 would go 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that's how we get our answer 14. So you start with what you've got and then you count on afterwards. Now let us add 8 to 41. Can you do that? So we've got 41. So we count on 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. And there's our sum. 41 plus 8 gives us 49. Very good. Let us count on together. Are you still with me? Let us try 56 plus 45. What can make it easier when you've got two-digit numbers like that is you could add the 40 first. So you split up 45 and you could say 56 plus 40 is 96. And then you just add a 5 and that gives you 101. Let's try another one. Let us start with the biggest number, 89. We can take a 10 from 12 and make it 99. And then we just add another 2. And that gives us 101. Here we have 78 plus 13. Split up the 13, take a 10 away from it, and say 78 plus 10 gives us 88. And then we just have to add on 3. So that is a nice simple way to add on, where you split up the numbers and take out a 10. Let's have a look at this one. We've got 64, and now you are given 12. So let's take 10 first. 64 plus 10 is 74, and then we just have to add on another 2, which gives us 76. Now we've got 32 Smarties. Yum. And we get given another 13. So let's take 10 first. 32 plus 10 is 42. And then we just have to add on the extra 3, which is 45. Now we're going to take away. We are going to give our Smarties to someone else. We're going to subtract, or we are going to minus, or maybe we're going to eat them. If we start with 64 and we minus 8, we have to count backwards from 64. So we could take away 4 first and get to 60, and then take away another 4, and that would get us to 56. Very good. When we are subtracting tens, it's quite easy because we know how to count backwards in tens. So if we had to go 45 minus 10, we can easily find the answer to be 35. Because if we count backwards, it would be 45, 35, 25. If we go upwards, 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on, which you've all done before. So that is a nice easy one. Let's have a look at this one. We're going to subtract these together. Remember, when we've got a number like 12, we're going to first take 10 away. So 65 minus 10 would give us 55. And then we've got to remember to take the last 2 away, and that gives us 53. Let's try this next one. An easy way to say this one is 19 is nearly 20. So let's say 34 minus 20. And then we put 1 back on again, which would be 15. It's just an easier way than counting back 33, 32, 31, 30, and you might get lost along the way. Or you could say, let me take 10 away first and make it 24, and then I must take another 9 away, and that gives me 15. So there are different ways to do it, and you do it the way that you find it the easiest. Let's have a look at this one. We've got 75. Let us take 10 away first. So that gives us 65. And then we have to take away another 6, which gives us 59. And we've got 23 now. We're going to subtract 12. So let's take away 10 first, which gives us 13, and then take the last 2 away, which gives us 11. You're doing so well. Very good. Now we've got 87 Smarties. That's quite a lot. Let us take away 10 first, which gives us 77, and then take away the last 9. If we count backwards from 77, we will get 68. Let us finish off with saying what is 5 more of these numbers. Remember, more, somebody is giving us some more Smarties. Our number is going to get bigger, isn't it? So if we have to add on 5 to 66, we start with 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. Good. Now let us try 34. We count on 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Right, are you all with me? You're doing well. Let's count on our fingers now. We've got 87 Smarties, and we get given 5 more. So we've got 87. We're going to count 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Good job, children. So let us just go over what more means. It means that our number is going to get bigger. We are gathering some more. We are adding on. We are increasing our value. Now we're going to do what is 10 less than these numbers. So now we are taking away, or we're giving to somebody else, or maybe we are eating them. So we've got 76 Smarties. We quickly eat 10. What are we left with? We are left with 66. Now we've got 45 Smarties, and we have to say what is 10 less than that? 35. So we're just counting down in tens. We had 23. Now we take 10 away. Let's first take the 3 away. That gives us 20. And then we take the last 7 away, which would be 13. So we have 13 left. And what if we had 91 Smarties? 10 less than 91 would be 81. Very well done. Good job, everybody. So that was 10 less. So just to go over what less means, it's getting fewer, isn't it? It's being taken away or minused or subtracted. So you can think about Smarties when you're doing it, and you're putting them in your mouth, and your Smarties are getting much, much less. Right, we're now going to recap the spelling of our number names because we need to know how to spell them. Let's go through all the decades. We've got 20, and then we are going to add on 1. 21. And there's a little hyphen between them. 32. 43. Look at the spelling of 40. It hasn't got a U in it like the number 4 has. You have to drop that U, and it's 40, F-O-R-T-Y. The next one is 54. 54. Can you see the U is back in there again for 4? Then we have 65, 76, 87, 98. Do you remember how to spell 8? What was the trick? A fatty and a thinny and a ga-ha-ta. 8. And then 100. Look at how to spell 100 carefully. H-U-N-D-R-E-D. 100. Let's have a look at our summary now. So when we add numbers, we can count on. We can use our fingers and we can count on. Or we can split up our number and make sure that we count to 10 first, and then we add on the units or the ones. When we subtract numbers, we count backwards because we are taking some away. So we count backwards. And we can put numbers in order by looking at their value very carefully. So we have to read each number and say what it is to ourselves so that we know what the value is. Is it 26 or is it 206? So we read our numbers very carefully. In our next lesson, we're going to be doing lots of counting again so that we get really, really good at it. So thank you, children. Thank you for watching this lesson. And please remember, sanitize and wear your mask and maintain social distancing and keep safe. See you next time. Goodbye.